Game of Thrones is officially getting a prequel called House of the Dragon. It'll premiere in August this year, and saying that fans are hyped would be a massive, massive understatement. And HBO has recently released a new trailer that has sent everyone into a frenzy. So buckle up, because in today's video we're discussing what the new trailer tells us about House of the Dragon and more. Let's get into it. First, dragons, dragons, and more dragons. The exciting new teaser for the highly anticipated Game of Thrones prequel ends with a shot of a dragon mid-flight and the comically ominous line, "Dreams didn't make us kings, dragons did." It really looks like the show's going to use these monsters as much as it can, huh? The producers clearly decided to run with the most fantastical element of the original show, dragons, and decided to make the whole show about them. In fact, even the show's title contains the word dragon. Not exactly subtle, is it? But hey, cut HBO some slack. Their most popular show ever ended with perhaps the most resounding whimper in all of TV history. Poor HBO. Isn't it sad that they couldn't properly capitalize on the incredible rise of Game of Thrones because of two greedy men who rushed the ending so they could make more money by working on Star Wars? By the way, D&D got fired from that project as well, so maybe karma does exist. So it makes sense, it really does make sense, that HBO would continue the Westeros verse with the safest possible choice, a show centered on the Targaryens. And what does that mean? More cool CGI dragons, of course. This prequel will be set 300 years before the events of the original show, and it'll be chronicling the events leading up to the infamous Targaryen Civil War, the Dance of the Dragons. Wait, why didn't they call the show that? That's so much cooler. But anyways, the show will probably be more focused than the original, because as opposed to Game of Thrones, House of the Dragons centered on just one Westeros family, the family with a bunch of kings, silver hair, incest, and wait for it, dragons. Are we saying the word a bit too much? Yes, we are, but trust us, that's exactly what HBO wants us to do. Next, Fire and Blood. The Game of Thrones prequel is based on George R.R. Martin's 2018 book Fire and Blood. George has mentioned that his favorite character from that book was Prince Daemon Targaryen, and in the trailer we get a look at him as well. Daemon is played by 39-year-old British actor Matt Smith, who is perhaps best known for playing the 11th Doctor Who. He's seen carrying a dragon egg to Dragonstone, the household of all Targaryens, where he faces an angry Otto Hightower. We also get a first look at another iconic Targaryen, Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen, played by Emily Darcy. The show is set to focus on the conflict between Rhaenyra and her half-brother Aegon, who is yet to be seen. And that's not it. We find out who's sitting on the Iron Throne as well. It's King Viserys I. From here on, we see a bunch of exciting characters such as Richard Stark, Corlys Veleron, and Boromund Baratheon, who all pledge their authority to the king. If nothing else, it's going to be really fascinating to see the descendants of some of our favorite Westeros families. Let's hope the show does them justice. And now, the show will echo the struggles of Daenerys. Perhaps the most promising moment of the trailer comes when Rhaenys Velaryon says, "Men would sooner put the realm to the torch than see a woman ascend the Iron Throne." Here's the thing, that line is good because it's absolutely true. Men in general cannot see women be successful, and they certainly can't fathom a woman having more power than them. This will almost definitely be explored in the show, as many of the houses will oppose the idea of a female ruler. This is an issue that the infamous Daenerys Targaryen faced in the original series as well, and it'll be interesting to see how her descendants dealt with this. So, what do we want from this show? Like its parent show, House of the Dragon will have lots of huge battles, scandals, drama, and betrayal. We just hope it's all done with some kind of nuance. If Game of Thrones' horrible final season proved anything, it's that audiences want more than just cool battle scenes. They want character development, they want good dialogue, and most of all, they want the plot to make sense. Also, if any House of the Dragon producer is watching this, please spare us the super dark episodes. No one wants to see that anymore, or not see that. The good thing is that George R.R. Martin is said to be much more involved in the creative development of this prequel. Also, instead of D&D, the showrunners are Ryan Condal and Miguel Sapochnik, both of whom were responsible for some Game of Thrones best episodes. So yeah, while House of the Dragon 100% exists to capitalize off the success of its parent show, there are some aspects of it that indicate it may actually turn out to be pretty good. Fingers crossed. And that's all that the new House of Dragon trailer tells us about the show. Now it's time to move on to some more related news. Next, in other related news, George R.R. Martin doesn't understand why people hate Game of Thrones' final season so much. It's no secret that people absolutely hated Game of Thrones' final few episodes. Even the show's most passionate defenders turned on it, with many saying that the ending ruined the entire show for them. And George R.R. Martin has finally commented commented on this. Speaking to The Independent, George said he doesn't understand how people can hate something that they once loved so much. He told fans that if you don't like a show, just don't watch it. The 73-year-old writer also asked a very important question: how has everything become so toxic? Hey George, people watched the final season of Game of Thrones because they loved the show. It's not their fault it turned out to be super disappointing. And now, Nikolaj Coster-Waldau has watched the trailer for the Game of Thrones prequel. Danish actor Nikolaj Coster-Waldau played the beloved character of Jaime Lannister on Game of Thrones. Yes, the dude who once pushed a 10-year-old kid from a tower is one of the show's most adored characters. Nikolaj recently spoke to People about House of the Dragon and said that it's probably going to be very weird to watch the show. He's revealed that he's watched the trailer and that it all seems very familiar. He also praised the showrunner Miguel Sapochnik and pointed out that Miguel directed some of the biggest episodes of the parent show, so this prequel is going to be pretty surreal as well. Lastly, he added that House of the Dragon has an incredible cast and that he hopes they'll have all the success. Next up, The Last of Us is done filming. The Last of Us is one of the most popular video games of the 21st century, and if you didn't know already, HBO is working on a show of the same name, and the series executive producer, Craig Mazin, has confirmed that filming on the first season is done. The show is expected to come in 2023 and will star Game of Thrones and Narcos star Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey as Joel and Ellie. Neil Druckmann, the creator of the video game, is the creator of this TV show as well. Neil recently made the huge reveal that Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson, voice and motion capture actors for Joel and Ellie in the games, will appear in the series in significant roles. That's so cool. It really looks like this show is going to be just as brilliant as the games, and we can't wait. Bring it on! Finally, HBO cancels Made for Love. Sci-fi show Made for Love was easily one of HBO Max's best shows. The show earned a critical rating of 94% on Rotten Tomatoes, and fans were eagerly awaiting for it to be renewed for a third season. Unfortunately, it's officially been canceled. While HBO Max doesn't really share its numbers, it appears that this may be due to the show not getting enough streams. Representatives for HBO Max gave a statement about the show's cancellation, but did not mention why this happened. They said they are tremendously grateful for the truly spectacular journey of these past 2 seasons, and that like a Google chip, this show will always be on their minds. And we feel the same way. While it may not have been as widely watched as some of HBO's biggest shows, it was a really wonderful show, and it simply cannot be replaced. If you haven't given it a try already, please do. We promise it'll be worth your time. That's a wrap for this video. What are your thoughts on House of the Dragon's new trailer? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.